In the name of the one who loves the beloved and love itself. Amen. Please be seated. I remember being in a liturgy planning session about 7 or 8 years ago, talking about this day, and the people said, the awkward thing about Palm Sunday is that the liturgy of the Palms doesn't really sit very well with the liturgy of the Passion. They've got totally different tones. One's all celebratory with waving palms and singing songs, and the other one has the story of Holy Week and Jesus' betrayal and death. And I think they wanted to kind of separate them out. But I had to sit with it for a while and realize that they do precisely belong together. They belong together because there is an inflection point. There is a point at which joy turns into grief, celebration into sorrow, victory into failure. And that in my life, those things often all go together. And we're invited to contemplate both stories side by side very purposefully. We're invited to reflect on all of our contradictions, all of our internal incoherence, and bring it into this week. So I want to do something a bit different today. Well, I think I did it last year, but I'm going to do it again. But a bit different from a normal sermon, which is to ask you to reflect on this inflection point, this moment of transition from the waving of the palms into Holy Week. And I'm going to do that by walking you through a kinesthetic exercise. We're going to turn our palms into crosses. Now, I'm going to give you instructions and you're going to try, but a big percentage of you are going to fail. And that's okay, because that's a little bit about what this week is about too. Wrestling with something and it not going exactly right. If you're at home and you don't have a palm available to you, you can get a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and cut a 1/2 inch strip off the side, and you'll be able to do this at home as well. So I put some instructions in the bulletin, and it says to use a knife to cut the palm in half. It's only if you've got a seam in the middle that you need to cut it in half, and I don't have a knife, so I'm just going to use my nail and split it in half. Now, the instructions in the bulletin say to put those two bits together, but I'm going to tell you a cheat. Forget 1/2. Take the other piece and fold it into an L shape. Oh, look, I've got a camera. Can you see the L shape? Like, make a little elbow. Then you've got one piece going off to the side and one piece going up. The piece that's going up, fold it over the piece that's going to the side until it faces down. Then fold it up again around the other side. So you're wrapping it around the palm frond. Now it's facing up. Matthew. That's okay. Now, you've got a bit that's sticking up and a bit that's sticking out. You see where the bit that's sticking up flops down? Fold the bit that's sticking out to the side over in front of it. Now, if you thought that was all tricky, here's the tricky bit. The bit that's sticking out, you take it back around and you find the little hole in the palm just there, and you poke it through, and then you pull it tight, and all of a sudden, the floppy elbow, oh, I split my palm a bit, becomes kind of solid. Has that happened for you? Just in case you're wondering, this is the moment where it all goes wrong. So I've now got an L shape that's solid. So you take that bit that you just poked through and you poke it through again, one more time around the back. But don't pull it all the way through this time, just a little bit. Then you poke it back in again, one more time. And you have your cross pieces. You can leave them loopy or you can press them flat, depending on how you feel about the aesthetic of your palm cross. Then the last piece is to take the bit that's pointing down and poke it through the hole that you've created now in the back. But don't pull it all the way through. Just pull it far enough so you've got your cross. I'm going to let you fiddle with that for a bit. If you didn't get there, you can come and check with somebody in coffee hour and see if they can help you finish. But what does it feel to fail? Or how does it feel to take something that was a source of great joy and turn it into a symbol of sorrow? How does your life feel when sorrow and joy sit alongside one another? What does it feel like making the transition from the triumphal entry into Jerusalem, where people cheered Jesus, into the court case we just heard, where false accusations were made against him and he was convicted of a crime he didn't commit? What does it feel like when we look at our world around us and we notice joy and sorrow sitting side by side with each other? When we notice moments of injustice, moments of great cruelty. I remember seeing a YouTube video recently of people in the Ukraine in a bunker hiding from bombs, and a young girl singing a Disney song in Ukrainian. And all of the people in that moment brought into a great sense of unity and joy. It was utterly tragic and utterly joyful at the same time. So as we stand on the threshold of Holy Week, we're invited to just be honest about the fact that we are filled with internal incoherence. We're filled with joy, we're filled with pain. And we're invited to go on this journey through Maundy Thursday, through Good Friday, into Easter Sunday next week, and see what happens. Amen.